technical hiccup, but I think we're live now. New technology, new tools. We actually have a new camera on the way. It's just not here yet. It might show up while we're streaming right now, but hopefully we're live. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let me know in the chat if you can see me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know in the chat if my volume is good or bad or blown out or anything like that. But either way, 7 years, 7 big flipping years of Newsroom. And this has become kind of an annual thing. It's partially State of the Newsroom. It's partially let's get caught up on the news. It's partially let's just have a damn party. I got the champagne. So I'm ready to go. Good. And I see people in the chat. Boom. Good on all. Now I'm curious. Let's see here. Because I should be able to, and it doesn't. See, these people, Riverside, they're liars. I do not see the YouTube chat in here. Let me just, you know what? And I'm not going to even try to refresh the page. So I guess, you know what? First, what we'll do is let's just walk down memory lane a little bit. 7 years of flipping Newsroom. 7 years ago today, little baby boy ref was sitting around with not much to do. And he said, hey, this XFL thing is about to be announced. And so you know what I did? I went out, we got some domains, we started up Newsroom, and little did I know, 7 years later, we'd still be here. 7 years later, we'd be partying online with you guys. And I would never bash the Stallions. I love Birmingham, by the way. People think I love me some Eugene's hot chicken. I'll even take some Hattie B's. I would move to Birmingham. Believe it or not, I would actually move to Birmingham. I talked to my wife, and I want to take her there. Well, one, she's a foodie, and at least in my opinion, Birmingham has some amazing food. And I'm not even trying to glaze Stevie T here. Trust me. But 7 years ago today, started some silly old XFL website. And I mean, we all know the story. 2020 came in big and ended sad, pretty sad. We reshifted, and somehow, some way, throughout all of these different leagues, throughout all of the different name changes, we're around. Pro Football Newsroom, and it feels like it's here to stay. Now, one of the things I would like to do, talking about goals, right? Where would, Newsroom is bigger than I ever thought it could be. And this isn't necessarily a goal for this year, but it's definitely a goal I would like to see in the next 3 years is one of our guys, not me. It ain't me. I ain't that guy, but I would love to see one of the Newsroom guys get NFL credentials, whether it's a photographer, a writer, just getting a legit NFL credential. To me, that's on running the business side of things, trying to get that done. Again, I'm no expert at these things, so they may be more difficult to facilitate, but that is the goal. And if you don't have goals, I mean, what's the point of living? Separately, and you'll probably see I have a link down in the description. A couple things. There's a few links in the description. There's a link to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you're not really living life. You're missing out on so many things. The Discord is the heart and soul of Newsroom. You really need to be in the Discord. Sometimes it's great for football news. Sometimes it's just great. Sometimes it's just amazing. I'm just reading. Why didn't you cover AAF? We did cover AAF. Some even say unjustly that I'm the one that put the nail in the coffin. Now, don't blame me that April Fool's Day just so happened to be the day before they ended up closing shop. Hey, anyway, we're not going to get into it. 7 years. These are the stories that you get from 7 years. Some good, some bad. We'll talk about the bad a little bit later. It's funny how things come together, right? One of the other things, though, that this is not really a newsroom thing, but I also have another link down in the description. So I'm going to rebrand the old XFL newsroom channel as a ref channel. What does that mean? I don't even know. We'll probably talk about it on that channel. We're going to figure out what that channel is. Mainly, I just want an outlet for me to talk about things that aren't football or whatever. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but click the link down below. Go subscribe to that page, because probably in the next couple weeks, I'm going to start rolling out some videos. I'm trying to get some marketing and things like that, thumbnails and, the jazz. But it would mean a lot if you go and follow that channel. Now, there's a whole bunch of older videos there. If you want to watch them, sign you up. I'm not going to be mad at you, but they're all old XFL videos. Basically all the newsroom podcasts sat there, some of which were me, some of which were some other people. I'll probably tidy that up at some point. Boxing match, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we can get Ducky on board. Maybe we can. Yeah, your money should be on Ducky. Ducky is he's short. And so when I swing, I'm just automatically, I'm going to miss him, right? I got to shorten myself. Maybe I can get with James to train on being short. Maybe. Oh, man. So that's one of the things I want to do is see what happens on that other channel. Truth be told, maybe nothing happens. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe I do nothing. Priority is always still going to be newsroom. So big thing kind of coming up. We have Spring Stock 4. Now I want to do how do I explain this? So Spring Stock 4, I would say, is probably going to be more similar to Summer Stock 3 last year, where we're going to be walking around with the camera. But the good news is we've worked out the kinks. Zach has wireless lav mics. I have wireless lav mics. He's got a DJI Pocket. I got a DJI Pocket 3 coming today. We got stuff. Now, that's just Spring Stock 4. So that's the pregame show. So we're going to be live from TDECU Stadium. And I'll be interested to see what the tailgating looks like on a Friday afternoon. Regardless, we're going to be out there. We're going to be live. So if you're there, join us. If you're not, join us online live, either at pfnewsroom.com or right here on YouTube, Pro Football Newsroom, YouTube. Sign you up. Get signed up. We're going to be live. One thing that I am tossing up, though, and I don't know if this would actually bring any value, but I have so much stupid technology. So we have the Meta Ray-Bans, which have the live Instagram streaming. So I might do RefCam for either pregame of setting up Spring Stock, just so you can see what Zach and I usually go through. Although if we do the mobile setup, there won't be as many funny moments. The funny moments usually come in, oh, the speakers aren't working and we have 3 minutes to go live. That's usually where the funny comes in. So we'll see. Either way, RefCam will be at Spring Stock 4 / the opening game of the UFL. Now, something else I'd love to do. Now, this is just an idea in my head, and I feel like I can probably bring it all together before the opening day. But hear me out. And you know what? There's going to be a little bit of delay to it and all that, but hear me out, and you guys tell me if I'm crazy. What I would love to do is during the game, maybe the first half, maybe the second half, go live, RefCam from the stands with Zach, because Zach's going to be in town for Spring Stock 4, which you should be as well. If you're here, join us. The party's in the parking lot. I hear the dog barking. That's probably my camera there. I may have to go get the delivery. You know what? Give me, of course, whatever. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Well, that's what I get for listening to my dog. There ain't nobody here. Wait, maybe there is. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Boom. It wasn't a false alarm. So anyway, we'll deal with that later. Sorry for the hiccup. But if I didn't get that, then they were going to go make sense. Oh, I didn't want to go to the UPS store and go pick that up. So I apologize. So here, big brain plan. It was worth the wait, folks. So here's what I would love to do during the opening game of the UFL is, since I'm going to be with Zachy Boy, go live. Now, we can't show the game, right? We can't point the camera at the game so you can watch the game, but you might be able to, and you will be able to watch Zach and I's commentary. Now, one of the things I would love to do, and maybe we'll just do this for the fourth quarter, because clearly I don't want to do it for the whole game, and I'm going to have to find a way to do this where we're not like sitting around people, because I also don't want to annoy people. But I would love to set up text to speech, because then we can bring in people from around the globe into TDECU for when the Roughnecks inevitably start their 12-0 season. You could join along. Your TTS could say, "Ref, you were right. This team is the greatest team to ever put their feet on football turf." You could tell everybody how horrible the Battlehawks are. Alternatively, if I'm wrong, you could poo-poo. You could poo-poo all over the Roughnecks. You could poo-poo on anybody. Now, the one thing that I do need to figure out is how do I moderate that? How do I moderate that? Because I just feel like there's some trouble in there. So if anybody has experience in IRL streaming, experience in TTS, drop me a line at the Ref Says over on X. It ain't Twitter anymore, baby. Over on X, drop me a line, because I want your expertise. I want to know. This just feels like a fun experiment. Either way, if that falls through, because it might. Worst case, Zach and I might go live during the fourth quarter just to give you kind of some live reactions from within the stadium, and then inevitably whatever the end score is. So it'd almost be like a two-parter spring stock. You know, we have the pregame and the end/post game. We'll see. And then we're also going to throw in some Instagram streaming with Ref Cam. The long story short, we're trying new things. We're just trying new things. I mean, we could have done what we've always done. It's easy. I own all the equipment. I have the speakers. We have the amp. We're definitely bringing the tent. We're bringing all of these things. But if you just do the same thing every year, I mean, that just gets a little bit stale. So hopefully you guys noticed every year I try to change it up just a little bit. And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, I want to know, hopefully there's a lot of people coming out to Houston. And if you are, drop us a line. Like I said, we're tailgating. We're going to have good times. We'll probably figure out some kind of food situation. If it's not hot food, we'll at least have chips and pop. And we're not going to run into the situation like we did at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. You're allowed to have beer. I mean, it's Texas. Of course you're allowed to have beer. So that's spring stock 4. One thing I do want to deviate, I'm not trying to do NFL coverage, but I'd be silly to comment on this. It's unfortunate that Zach and I haven't recorded this yet. So Zach, I apologize. You're about to get my full thoughts on this matter before I've had a chance to run it by you. But it should be illegal for the Chicago Bears to hire Ben Johnson as their head coach. It should be illegal, folks. It should be illegal for a team in the same division to hire any of the coaching staff. You might say, ref, shut up. What are you talking about? This is how it is. Get over it. Hey, you know what? The Lions should have made a better deal. What are you going to do? Now he gets to be a head coach. I don't care. I don't care. It's one thing with players, but the coach, you can't do that. Now, here's the thing. Because the news had dropped so soon after the Lions had lost their playoff game, you know that they were talking about this prior to the end of the playoffs. Now, I got a problem with that. There should be a problem with that. Roger Goodell should have a problem with that. Every NFL fan, of course, except for the Bears fans, I'm sure, should have a problem with this exact situation. The Lions, I mean, oh my God, as a Lions fan, finally, we somewhat seem like a real team. The chances of that continuing when we not only lose our offensive coordinator, we're probably going to lose our defensive coordinator. And on top of that, we have our offensive coordinator is now the head coach for a team that we have to play twice every year. You should be mad as much as I'm mad about this situation. Zach, you should be mad. Deep down inside, you should be angry at this. You've gotten your Super Bowl. You've at least even gotten a Super Bowl appearance multiple times. Just ripping that away from us, potentially. Now, we'll see. Maybe, just maybe, the Lions are going to come out next year with a little bit of heart and soul. Maybe they're going to be a little bit pissed off. Maybe Dan Campbell is going to prove, look, it wasn't just the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator, and he's going to find two guys that are going to fill those shoes. Maybe. That's what we're living on now, folks. A maybe. And that's the most Lions thing ever. Living on a maybe, baby. That's us. Restore the roar one of these days. Am I glad they won a playoff game last year? Yeah. Am I glad they won 2 playoff games last year? Yeah. But look at us this year. Same old Lions. And there's going to be some Lions fans out there mad at me for saying that. Same old Lions. Whether you like the situation or not, here we are. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. So I had to vent on that. Now, the good news is Roughnecks, baby. 12-0. Inevitably, 12-0. We're moving back to TDECU. We got snow in Houston. Do you know how rare that is? Almost as rare as an undefeated team, baby. Just like the Houston Roughnecks are about to be. And here's the thing. Here's what I want to see. When the Roughnecks, when the Roughnecks win the UFL championship this year, I want to see a parade. And not just any old parade. I want swangers. I want swangers in that parade. If there is a parade and there is no swangers, then I hate to break it to you. I don't know if it's a parade in Houston. But we'll see. We'll see when we win the championship and hopefully when we get a parade. Now, we might not get a parade, but if we at least get a swing out of the deal, sign me up. Do we have a mascot yet? Can we get a swing, a mascot? Can we just get Blobby to wear Blob to wear a costume of a swanger? You know he wants to. You know he's creeping in the shadows. Anyway, 7 years. 7 years. Yeah, I know I need to hang the thing one of these days. The problem is I need to figure out the banners. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know where to put them. Maybe nowhere. Maybe not on that part of the wall. So I'm trying to figure that out. because if I put the shadow box here, it works when it's just my camera, but when we're on like around the UFL, or if I'm recording the UFL podcast, it gets cropped out. So it needs to be like here, right? Which means I need to move the banners. But we'll get there. Maybe by the next time we record, I got all sorts of things to do. I also want to do because I got you haven't seen The Office beyond what's behind me. I got some cool stuff in here. I might do maybe for the second channel. Oh, there we go. Knocking hats. I got 1 million hats. I could do a whole video on hats. But 7 years, a lot of things happen in 7 years, right? And so one of the things I do want to talk about is the people that you come across over doing something like this for 7 years. Some are great. Some are salt of the earth. I mean, you all saw Spring Stock 3 last year. We had Mark Perry on from News Hub. People couldn't believe it. Worlds collided. We also had the dudes from X Fan Show. I mean, these are old school guys, people that have been around, if not as long as me, around the same time. We've all been doing this around the same amount of time, right? And so some, though, maybe not so nice. Now, normally I just leave it be. I say, you know what? Stay out of the drama, ref. It's not worth it. But sometimes it's worth jumping in it just a little bit, right? So we're gonna go through the situation now. We're gonna look at what would you call this? Evidence A. I don't know. Item A. Let's just share the screen here. Now, the unfortunate thing is I can't even show you the initial piece that we're here to talk about. So hopefully, let me make sure this is streaming here. I'm going to give it a couple seconds. I don't know what my screen looks like. Riverside is so goofy, but there we go. That's perfect. I can see it on my screen now. So yesterday, and now I'm going to clarify a couple things, and we're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you my full thoughts on it. And there's a couple people here that I want to make sure don't get strays. Do not go after these people. So before I even talk about it, so Mike, don't go after Mike. Don't go after Mike Bell. He doesn't work for UFL board. He didn't really know the situation. He was doing what a good community member would do, and he was going to bat for somebody who has been in the community since not even 2019, but since the original XFL. So they had XFL board, and then it was UFL board. And so here we are today. But beyond a message board, they also put out news. Now, I wouldn't know because somewhere around 2019, Mark Nelson, the person that runs XFL board / UFL board, he blocked me. He blocked me on what was then known as Twitter, now known as X. He blocked me. I wouldn't know that they're posting news. I wouldn't know that anything's happening with their message board. So this was actually news to me when yesterday everybody was bringing up Mark Nelson. I said, oh, isn't that that guy? Isn't that that guy? We'll talk about that. So I would show you the original tweet from UFL board, but it's been deleted, which is actually a good thing. I'm not even mad about that. That's kind of, should have did that from the get-go. We'll talk about that. But essentially it was an article about Alex Mugu coming back and playing as wide receiver. And there was some back and forth. Like I said, Mike kind of came in to defend and say, no, it's a direct quote from Skip Holtz. Now, this isn't Mike saying that because he knew it. He's referring to the article. So don't let Mike take a stray here. What AFN's doing is good stuff. They're not the same thing. So don't give him the stray. But again, in the context of things, he was defending it. And here we got Jay Stern, which if you don't know, he plays for the Stallions. And we'll just pull this up. He ran the article through basically something you could test to see if it was written in AI. And as you can see, it's highly confident, 98% probability. Now, what that has led into, as people do their thing, as the internet does, as they start sniffing around and they're finding out other articles are written with AI. And again, this isn't all the writers on UFL board. It seems to be specific to Mark Nelson. And again, do I actually have a problem with you using AI? No, not at all. I think people should use AI. I use it for efficiency. There's things I use it for, not necessarily for writing. But if you do use it for writing, at minimum, it needs to be explicitly stated. I think this is my opinion. This is not the law. You're not going to go throw this guy in prison for it, right? But I feel like it should be explicitly stated as such. It's funny because Mark Perry and I had a conversation about this at Spring Stock 3 last year, and he openly talks about using AI. But he's openly talking about it. He's not out there trying to defend himself and say, no, this is not AI. This is 100% fact, and trying to go after people and then, of course, blocking other people. And now he's just deleted his account. He seems to blame Twitter or X. He doesn't really seem to want to take responsibility for this, which I'm not going to pull up that screenshot, but I saw a screenshot of his one of his DMs where he basically said, Twitter's a shithole. Is that the problem? Is Twitter being a shithole the problem? Or is it you trying to keep your site relevant with AI generated material, right? When I look at the scope, when I look at the marketplace, there's a few names that stand out, but using AI, fine. State it as such, because when you don't, you got guys like, there's Greg Parks, who writes for UFL Board, is a legit guy. It screws him, potentially. I don't want it to. I think this is the problem. Now there's a situation there. So that's kind of my statement on that. But I did want to kind of deep dive into this because I think it's a little funny. And we're going to get in why I think it's a little funny. So we're going to run in Luke, which I think is in the chat, State of the Stallion, sign him up. We're going to reference one of his tweets on the situation because I think there's a couple guys. There was Jace, there's James, there's Luke. We're going to get to Josh here in a minute, that I think kind of they found everything that they needed to find in a much better way that I could. So I'm just going to use theirs as reference. Now, you could call me the comeback period. What was his channel? Whatever. Why am I throwing shade at that guy? Whatever. Anyway, State of the Stallion. Yesterday, UFL Board posted an article about Alex McGough re-signing with the Stallions. The article included a supposed quote. So this is the big thing. It had a fake quote. A fake quote. From Skip Holtz about Alex playing wide receiver. This is odd given that Luke and James Larson both said he'd be playing quarterback, citing sources close to the situation. People reached out to Mark Nelson, the founder of UFL Board and the author of the article about the quote. They also reached out to ask why the article appeared to be written by AI with 98% probability. Now, as we just showed, it also took Jay Stern leaking text from Alex himself to dispel the rumors. So I didn't show that, but Chase had posted screenshots asking Alex McGough, are you playing wide receiver? No, I'm playing quarterback, right? So last night, Nelson quietly deleted a tweet linking the article itself, and even his own personal X account. Again, these are things that I wouldn't know because little old ref, mean old ref, has been blocked since 2019. And we're going to talk about that. So what is the moral of the story? Alex McGough will be playing quarterback, and be careful who you listen to. But again, I think Josh also is on this a lot, so I think it's worth giving him his credit as well. So make sure you're following all these guys, James, State of the Stallions, SOT Stallions, and then Josh B. Messenger. Follow all these guys because they're the ones that did the work on this. I'm just talking about it. So he had a tweet earlier, also retweeted by State of the Stallions. Yeah, so I was one of the ones to ask the author directly about these quotes. He also personally reached out to the Stallions communications director, and she confirmed McGough was signed to play as quarterback. He mentions he's already seen that James and Jay Stern's pretty much exposed the quotes as fraudulent, but this is one of the few times he's ever seen a reporter just full bore invent quotes for a story. And he's right. It's brazen. It's almost unbelievable. Unbelievable. So we could talk about all this, follow all of these people. Now you might say, Ref, why do you care so much? This seems like such a silly thing to care about. Well, 7 years of Newsroom, you come across some great people and you come across some not so great people. And so, as I mentioned, in 2019, I was blocked by Mark Nelson. You say, why? Why were you blocked by Mark Nelson? Well, it was a strange coincidence. It was around the same time that Newsroom really started picking up steam. And keep in mind, this at the time, it was xflboard.com. They had been around, I think, since 1999. They didn't like new people coming around doing what they are trying to do. And so he didn't really have a great opinion of Newsroom or little old me and old Ref. So let's see what he had to say. Well, this was his criticism for me back in 2019. Maybe take a journalism class, night school, community college. He even offered to send me a link. Huh. Weird. Maybe I should be sending him a link to the community college. Maybe, I don't know if they have community college in Canada. Maybe that's the link. Maybe if he sent me the link, I can send it back to him. 7 years of Newsroom. I've come across some great people, and I've come across Mark Nelson, who I wouldn't have known wrote his articles in AI because he blocked me in 2019. Why? Because he didn't respect me. He didn't respect Newsroom. He said, maybe I should take a journalism class. All smug. Funny how that works. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to drink some champagne. Champagne for 7 years of Newsroom. Here's to 8. Here's to 9. Here's to 10. Here's to a new channel. Here's to James Larson. Here's to Zach Kyleman. Here's to everybody who helps with Newsroom, whether it's the website, the social media, the Discord channel. Here's to you, but not to Mark Nelson. I don't even have a glass. Or, you know what? 7 years, you don't need a glass. That's some good champagne. That's some 7-year tasty champagne. So, 7 years of Newsroom. I hope you've enjoyed it. Q&A. What kind of questions you got? What do you want to know? Spring stock, what would you like to see? What would you like to see new out of Newsroom? What would you like? What do you got for me? Like I said, I got this DJI Pocket 3 over here. Of course, it showed up during the stream, so I can't use it now. But maybe we'll drop some more videos soon, not only on this channel, over on the other channel. Zachy boy, my Zachy boy. If you're free, you can jump on. I can send you a link. Let me know in the chat. You can celebrate with me. Maybe James, if you're free, you could jump on too. You don't have to. I know the stream's delayed, but I'm just having fun. This is like a Sign Me Up Saturday. So happened that the 7-year anniversary is on a Sign Me Up Saturday. It's been a while that we've done a Sign Me Up Saturday. You know, it's funny. I'm debating. So I talked about the other channel. I have so much music. Okay, let me get Zach a link here real quick. Copy this link. Let me go to the Discord. Zachy boy, there you are. All right, good. We'll get Zach on here as well. That'll be fun. I sent it over on the Discord. So anyway, we're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. But what do you want out of Newsroom? How many journalism community college classes have I taken in those 7 years? None, actually. I actually haven't taken any. It's weird how it worked out. Now, it's hard for me to say that I'm the bread and the butter of Newsroom. It is the James Larson show at this point. If it ever got to the point where I was going to stop doing Newsroom, I would probably just give it to James. It would be his to run, his to do, right? Like James is basically a business partner in this at this point. So if we ever make money, good news, James, probably Zach as well. The unfortunate part, don't make that much money. Maybe we'll set up a Patreon. Maybe we'll set up memberships. The problem is with setting up a Patreon and the memberships is I don't really think we're going to do more content that would be exclusive to those things. So I don't know. But if you wanted to donate, I'm sure we could probably set that up. But that's not really what we're here for. This is fun. This is fun to do. 7 years too. I get 7 years. So many funny stories. So many people I've come across. Which speaking of one right here, Zachy boy Kyleman.
I swear I'm here.
Well, I can kind of hear you. I can. Your camera's not there. This is doing it on the fly. This is a no curtain situation. This is what 7 years will get you, Zach. It's this highly efficient technology stack that we have in place that really makes us smooth as butter when it comes to doing things on the fly. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I
know. It's good. Yeah, good to be on here. I was trying to get more of an entrance, and I just am not wanting to wait.
Well, I could barely hear you. You're like quiet, real quiet. Now I don't know about the chat. I got you all the way up in Riverside.
You keep going. I will fix my stuff.
Well, Zach will keep going. Again, this is what 7 years get you at Newsroom. Is this highly effective, highly efficient, super buttery smooth situation that we have. But at the same time, I kind of like a good kerfuffle, a good situation. I like a good glitch, a problem or two. I'm totally fine with. Is there an echo from me still or only when Zach was on? Because I noticed that as well. I didn't want to pile. I just wanted to give him one problem at a time. Oh man, 7 years in Newsroom. But okay. So back to kind of what I was saying before Zach came on. Man, there are a lot of really good people that you come across. Tron Hawkins, who he doesn't really do podcasts anymore, but he was one of those guys. He was one of those guys that was out there in 2018, 2019, kind of roughing it out, doing the thing. He's since got married and he's got a kid. And so, that's how it goes. And with these weird rough patches of like, is the league happening? Is it not happening? It's totally understandable. He was the AAF delivery guy, and then he was the XFL delivery guy. That's one that I miss. He was super nice guy. I think he did a couple things with Newsroom. I think he was on our year-end stream for either 2019 or 2020, one of those, can't remember. Again, super cool guy. I know I brought him up earlier, but the X-Fan show, Dirty and A-Train. I mean, these are two of the guys that have been around basically as long as I have, or as long as I have. Again, we're all around the same time. They'd started at the same time, and kind of here we are. But I actually got a chance to finally meet Dirty in person in St. Louis last year at Summer Stock 3. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to meet A-Train, but we will. One of these days, we will. Super cool people. If you don't follow them already, make sure you're following them. They're everywhere. I think I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but I think they do more on Facebook, but make sure you follow Facebook, the X, the things. TikTok, I guess, is still around. So you could do that. Maybe I'll get on the TikTok train one of these days. Maybe now that maybe I'll join it just to see if it gets banned in whatever 75 days or however many days is left. I could build up that mega fan base and have it all go poof right away. My wife is distraught. My wife is distraught about TikTok potentially going away. Me, I'm old. And so I never really had a TikTok. So I'm like, I don't care. It's like if Instagram went away. I have an Instagram. The things that I should use Instagram for, I just use X for. X, love it or hate it, X is the best social media platform, in my opinion. Some people say TikTok is amazing for their algorithm. I don't know what that means. Every one of these things has an algorithm. Just look at things you like, and the social media will start feeding you that thing. If you don't like what you're seeing on a certain social media channel, it's probably because you're engaging with it, whether it's hate bait or something like that. That's part of the game for these guys. They bait you in. They get you in. Zachy Boy's restarting his PC. One of the things I would like to do, though, is I would like to play more games with Zach. Not that I want to make a games channel, but I think that would be fun. Either Madden or more Maximum Football, maybe Tecmo. I think you can get 2-player NES Tecmo going, which if you look at my old channel, there's some Tecmo videos in there. I think I play XFL Tecmo in there. I might be wrong. I don't know. I think so. Look at the old channel. You'll find out. 7 years. Well, we got a couple months to kick off. Might as well talk about that. I am super excited. We got season 2 of the UFL coming up. We had season 1 last year, which was, for a lack of better terms, just rushed going into it. There's not much they could have done. It was mainly because there was the merger. The merger didn't really get officially announced until it was either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Right? Maybe one of the others, but that's when it officially got announced as far as being complete, right? So it was announced a little bit early, but as far as being complete going into the new year. So there was a lot of rush, things like that. Now this year, a little bit more breathing room. Now there's still some complaints, but I do love seeing UFL ads. We saw one during the college championship the other day. We're seeing it through the NFL playoffs, and we'll probably see it in the lead up, right? So NASCAR's coming back. You already know NASCAR's going to be pumping those UFL ads, getting them going, pushing them out, getting them live. And I love to see that. And I'm really excited. And we all know, but I'm in taking out the 12-0 and the Roughnecks are going to be undefeated. And they're going to win the championship. Ignoring all of that, I am legitimately happy that the Roughnecks are coming back to TDECU Stadium. I am so happy about that. And again, nothing against Rice Stadium. Rice Stadium was fine, but TDECU Stadium is so much better in so many different ways. I'm ecstatic. Again, I think I probably talked about this on the podcast. We have the club area, which means private bathrooms, private bar, private merch area, food, all of these things that if there is a line, it's maybe 1 or 2 people compared to the other vendors that it's generally a much longer line. Another thing that I really love about TDECU Stadium, they have a Chick-fil-A. Not so great for Sunday games, admittedly. Not so great for Sunday games. One less vendor for Sunday games. But for the instance of the league opener, Friday night. You know, Zachy Boy and I are going to be munching down on some waffle fries and a spicy chicken deluxe. Get me signed up all over that. The field is nice. The seats, my God, folks, night and day. Night and day. The seats at TDECU, you might as well be sitting in one of the seats at the movie theater with the recliners. Now, it's not like that, but if you compare it to the seats at Rice Stadium, my goodness, night and day. Spring football's coming back. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, Spring Stock 4. We're on 7 years of Newsroom. Spring Stock 4. Now, we could easily end it at a trilogy. But I don't even want to end it. But if I was going to end it, I might as well wait until we get to 5. And we're so close. We're 1 year away. So we might as well have 4. See, 4. Year 4 of Spring Stock. Kind of crazy. We're going to try some new things out there. We have the whole season ahead of us. We're going to be using RefCam probably even more than we did the year before. We're going to be figuring out what Summer Stock 4 looks like, right? These are all things to look forward to. We got James Larson that I don't know how he does it. I don't know how this dude has that many minutes in the day to write about every signing, everybody coming on board, every little piece of news. I put some things out every now and then. I'm horrible at it. That's another goal. I'm going to get better at posting things on the site. But my God, James, sign them up. We're going to be, I know time is coming. Thorne's about to come out of the bushes like Homer Simpson. And he's going to have some articles, I'm sure, once we get closer to training camp. Once the season comes, I anticipate we'll have some more writers kind of coming out of the woodwork. We got Christian. Christian's another one I can't believe I didn't mention earlier, covering us for DC. Zachy Boy, and with a mustache too. Oh man, this is like double win. I'm so jealous. I really should have never gotten rid of the mustache. That was like one of my favorite things. So your volume it's better, but it's still low. Is there I got a theory. So you're on Windows, right?
I am.
Okay. We're going to do this on the fly. What Windows are you on? 10 or 11? 10? Oh, even better. In the bottom right, you see where the little speaker is? Right click on that and go to sound settings. And then hopefully from the right, let me just make sure this is it. Yeah. Do you see in the top right something under related settings that says sound control panel? I can't even hear you. Hold on. I think you're muted too. Hold on. That might even be part of the problem. Talk now.
Hello.
Well, I can hear. Okay. So it's still, you're still quiet. Okay. So can you see sound control panel? 7 years, folks. This is what 7 years of efficiency gets.
I see it.
Okay. So we're going to go in there and go to the recording tab.
Okay.
And then find your microphone. So mine is the Rodecaster. So yours is probably the same.
Right. I found it.
Okay. So double click in that and go to levels.
No, it is coming low, but I don't understand why it's coming out that low.
So double click the Rodecaster and then go to the levels tab.
Hang on. I might have the solution. Let me do something here real quick.
7 years, folks.
Oh my God. If it's because I have a firmware update on my Rodecaster, I'm gonna be really pissed.
No. I think we could. So if you just go to levels on that thing, what is it set to?
I mean, it's I just tried to crank it up. It doesn't really give me a specific.
So is it like 0 or is it at the bottom?
I mean, I'm watching it feedback. It's at the bottom. It's not up there at all.
So put it at, let me see. How do you do this?
Can I even adjust?
If you do, is it showing percent or decibels?
It's showing decibels, but again, it shouldn't be through that. Like, I don't know why it's doing that. I don't want.
So that's where. So if you right click on the microphone and change it from decibels to percentage, what percent is it at?
Hang on. I'm not seeing the, I guess, properties.
So, well, just right click where it says microphone, and you should get a little pop up, and it'll say percentage in decibels.
It doesn't say that.
I'm gonna put a screenshot in the Discord.
No, it's okay. I'm not sure why this is the thing. So if people can hear me, unfortunately, we have been like learning Riverside the last few streams, and it's like a new problem every single time, and I don't understand why.
So check the Discord. So I just gave up
okay.
on the...
Well, I just raised it. So how's that?
There you go.
Yeah, but, like, does it sound like garbage? Because like that's not that.
No,
that's not.
Good. You
that's
should
not
be
how
at the
it's
middle. You should be at the middle of that.
This has to be incorrect because like I don't need to use this ever.
So I have a formula, Zach. If that's at the middle, life is good. Just look at chat. Go give Zach some positive reinforcement that he sounds like a king right now. But now you sound like, now you're all quiet.
Because I'm messing with it. But I don't see. I shouldn't need to use this. I have a $500 board, so it's something up going with the connection to Riverside. It's not.
I think. Well, there's both things. I'm telling you. There's a off chat. We'll connect later. We'll just set that bad boy back up to the middle.
Okay. It was at the higher range when I put it.
Oh well, then do that. Pump that bad boy up.
Jesus. There's no way it sounds good.
Everybody's saying Zach sounds great. They're saying King Zach. Wear that king crown.
Oh God. All right. Well, I'll get it back up to your spot, but
crank it up.
I will. It's a NASCAR race out here. I'm gonna crank that bad boy up. I guess some bitch.
Zach, I should have sent you a little bottle of champagne. We're just drinking it out of the bottle today.
You didn't. You need to do that. I've been here only 5 years. You've had all 7.
5 years though. 5 years. How crazy is that?
No, I know. It is kind of wild though. Like real talk. 7 years of the website and still going strong too. That's the thing.
Better than ever before. Never would have anticipated it, Zach.
Quite frankly, it is at its best spot, and there's been competition left, right, and in between all the damn time.
I know. And usually I'm not such a hater, Zach, but I had to be. I just had to be in this situation. Yeah, I just had to be. I apologize. And this is the thing. I do want everyone to know. Don't bash the other guys that are involved in UFL board. And don't even bash Mark Nelson. Don't do that. That's like beta behavior. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna.
Well, I was gonna come on. I was gonna say it at some point, and I'll probably just make a real quick blurb on it. Is all I'm gonna put is that, for all of the stuff over the years that has been, you'll get like people where it's like, you or James might have something that is a source, which, as I can confirm every time, these two always, every time I've worked here, they have someone that has an ear. They always lean on, if it's someone they trust that has an ear, they are going to say the story and put it out. That is the whole basis. That is one thing that this site can always hang its hat on. It always leads with source-based stories on spring football first, and that's how it's driven. So, people have thrown flack at you, I think, unnecessary at times in recent years for finding a story or being given a story from people, and sometimes it doesn't work out. I mean, you want me to be freaking honest with you? I just watched this in the NFL. Everybody in the NFL thought Ben Johnson was going to the Raiders. Everybody thought he was a Raider. It was a few select smaller accounts that had been told by sources in Hallis Hall he was going to Chicago. And sure enough, he went to Chicago. Everyone around the league said they are shocked he went to Chicago. So for the sake of everyone involved in news, you will have sources that have what they believe is facts. Sometimes they get it wrong. It's how it happens. I would take that, where most of the time you get it right, you miss them once or twice, but you had someone that had the connections in, over someone that throws out artificially intelligence-based write-ups that direct quote the person, which I think is the main thing that everyone is losing their mind over today. Is
that's the part.
You put a direct quote into an article with nothing saying where it comes from. So that's all I have to put is, look, I've been here 5, you've been here 7 years. James has been that much for both as well. There's reasons why we do it this way. It's because the sources will always have it as close to accurate, and they are the closest to the ground as possible. That's why we stand our ground at everything. So kudos to you. It's been 7 years to me of really great coverage. I have to put a pat on the back. There's a reason PFN still is standing today and it's going strong. I'm waiting for that 10-year celebration. It's going to be a big one. So
dude, it's going to be, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll probably have to fly us all together and do like a thing.
We should.
I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream, but I made all sorts of spring stock plans without you. So,
well, I already, so I'll let you say what you say. I know it's going to be in Houston. I know for a fact it's going to be in Houston. People that have been asking me about that, I have said, yeah, just expect it to be in Houston. I guarantee you're going to see us then that Friday night. Anything I missed though? Because
so here's what I'm thinking. This is my very ambitious plan that I might or might not be able to see through. Again, if there's anybody that has experience in IRL streaming and what I'm about to get to next, Zach, TTS, text to speech.
Oh God, yes.
Because what I would love to do is we do spring stock 4, similar to how we did summer stock 3. We're going to be, we can have a base station, but then we can walk around and visit the other tailgates because Mr. and Mrs. Predator should be there. I got folks from another tailgate. There's going to be all sorts of people from the Fuel Network that are kind of based out of Houston. So we'll have people there that we'll be able to talk to. But this is the part, Zach, this is the thing that I think would be really, really fun to do is during the fourth quarter. And now we might have to find a spot to do it.
All right.
Because I don't necessarily know if people around us will want to hear it, but I would love, because I'm going to have the DJI Pocket 3 go live. Now we can't show the game, but we can show us and do commentary from the game. And I would love to bring everyone in the world to TDECU with us. And for a low nominal fee of like $1, right? You have to have some cost in it. For like $1, you can send a message. And I mean, we all know what the messages are going to be, Zach. They're all going to be like, ref, how did you know the Roughnecks are going to be so great?
It's going to be
Clearly, they're creaming the Battlehawks right now, and there's no way they're going to lose this game or any other game. 12-0, hashtag rough them up. That's going to be like most of the messages.
You want rough them up. You want drill baby drill. You want all that stuff. Drill baby drill. The stock for that hashtag has to be through the roof lately,
dude. Yeah,
because it's a double whammy.
Well, here's the thing. The political world's about to find out about spring football. I'll tell you that much. Someday in late March, some guy's going to be out there reading some QAnon and be like, look at this.
Look at this stuff.
Sign them up.
Trump buying the Roughnecks?
I won't even be mad at it.
No, I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm just going to leave it at, I just find it funny. All I have to leave it at is I find it funny that for the last several years that the Roughnecks have existed. They have kept leaning into drill baby drill, and the stock has skyrocketed.
1 year, Zach, 1 year they actually used rough 'em up, and I'm going to take the credit for it. I came up with rough 'em up. I talked to the guy in 2019 to the Roughnecks marketing team. I said, this is what you should use. I said, it's so perfect. I said, rough 'em up because you're football. You need to rough 'em up. You're the Roughnecks. I said, it's everything in one. And then at the time they used for the H. And I'm like, oh, everybody uses for the H. And then when they came back in, 2022, they used rough 'em up. And then they went to drill baby drill. I'm like, no, you had it. You had it so right. You had it right. Why'd you change?
Think outside the box. Come on,
probably man. Because I was talking so much shit online about, I came up with rough 'em up. And they're like, we cannot give this guy the credit. All right, drill baby drill it is. So But anyway, TTS, because I think it would be, think of how funny it would be. Because alternatively, Battlehawks fans could get on there and start talking some heavy smack. You know what I mean?
Just so people are in the know, if you haven't talked about this already on here, can you tell them why you want TTS? Because like, this is a little thing you got me into, and I love following on the side.
Well, are you talking about Fish Tank?
Yes, I'm talking about
Fish Tank is amazing, man. Fish Tank Live, which I don't know if I should even promote this thing, but it's like the real world.
It's worth bringing up. Look, if you're going to do the TTS thing, you got to at least give me the back, got someone what you're looking for, why it's awesome. That's what I'm saying.
Fish Tank is like the real world with like really just obscure people, but they're all locked in a house for 6 weeks. And they have speakers in every room, and you can watch them 24 hours a day, and you can spend real money to send them messages. And where Fish Tank maybe differs from, let's say, I don't know, what's the big one? Not the real world.
Big Brother would probably be the closest comp. Yeah.
Where it differs from Big Brother is, one, you could speak to these people, and two, the moderation is loose. Which leads me to the biggest thing, Zach. If we do this, I need to figure a way to moderate it because I don't necessarily want to be in a crowd of people and have something. Who knows? When you leave it to the internet,
yeah,
anything could happen. But yeah, Fish Tank is my guilty pleasure. They recently finished season 3, which was, I think I told you about it. They told everybody that was coming to this reality show that it was a show called Famous House. And then when they showed up, they told them that the show was on Hulu, and even went so far as to mock up a smart TV interface to show Hulu with the show running in the background with them on it and in the show after a day. And they're like, yeah, we basically edit it, and it airs the day after.
I love it.
And this went on for like 4 weeks before they kind of figured it out. And then they brought in like 12 new people and told them it was the beginning of the show. And all the people that had been on the show for 4 weeks or however long it had been, had to act like it was their first day on the show. And if they screwed up, they'd be kicked off. And then, I don't even know if I told you this much, Zach. And then something happened that I don't know what it was, but they got kicked out of the house.
Oh, really?
And so the final week of the show was them in an RV driving to Vegas. Which
I did see that. I never got to ask you about that. Oh, man.
It didn't work. Elon and Starlink didn't come through, I think, as well as they would have hoped. It was a lot of, hey, look. And then it would just freeze and be like, we're dealing with trouble. Once they got to Vegas, it kind of got sorted. It was kind of but that's the thing with a thing like Fish Tank. You're not really watching it for its perfection.
Right, right.
You're watching it for mayhem and madness. And that's kind of, it ended in exactly the way you would probably anticipate.
I just had to have you put it out there because that is, I learned the glories of TTS through that experience. Watching season 1.
Somebody that watches this is going to watch Fish Tank, and I wonder if they're going to figure out what my username is on Fish Tank, because I cannot and I will not, because I've told you, Zach, what will and can happen. Why do we talk about Fish Tank? Oh no. Oh no.
I think you'll be fine.
Inside track on Fish Tank. So the Fish Tank, the show, is not nearly as bad as the Community. The Community is funny and great in certain instances. And then there's parts of the Community that are, for a lack of a better term, and probably just reality.
Would unsavory be the best way to?
Schizophrenic. I think there's some legit schizophrenia that is running wild in the Fish Tank community, which I may or may not have had firsthand experience in, just from, I cannot give any more details because of people.
I would probably, if you're worried, I wouldn't even say anything. I would just stop.
It would be
Stop
funny
while you're
if it did happen, though. That would be comical. But I think the fish tank people would equally be like, "What? That's
this
you?
story.
What are you doing?"
This story, if it's the one I think you're gonna want to talk about, I would love to have on the show talked about someday.
Oh my God! Oh, please! How can I tell? Oh, maybe I should just out myself.
Up to you. Look, whatever day you feel like it needs to be told, we need to have like just a solo discussion around just that. Or something.
Man, that
like
is the funniest thing I've done in recent years too.
This would be a golden edition of Off Season Off Topic if we ever did that.
You know what we'll do? What we'll do, Zach, because I got this other channel that I'm working on.
Okay.
It's not football related. And honestly, I don't know what it is yet. And part of the channel is going to be figuring out what the hell it is. And so what I think I'd like to do, so I've always talked about doing this podcast called The Boys Club, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
I don't think it would be like a long-term thing, but there's like at least 3 people that I think would be fun to have probably more than 3 actually. I think you would be a fun, just talk like, cause you and I know each other, but we only talk about football for the most part. I think it'd be interesting to just dive in. I got another friend of mine. I think people are going to think I'm crazy. I think Buckeye Mike on the Boys Club with me, one-on-one would be
throwing Buckeye as well.
Memphis. What are you doing?
Thank you, James Baker. That was the best edit you've done to me that I've seen yet to come.
Mike should not be ashamed. Mike is now forever cemented in like internet lore. Like if you became, nobody made memes of me. I want to be Memphis guy.
That's how you know you've made it. The memes start rolling out.
Somebody send this clip to Mike. Mike, I'm telling you, we're going to get him on the Boys Club. We're going to dive deep.
I feel like he's seen it though. Like I know he's in and out of our Discord, but yeah.
Oh, I know he's there. I know Mike's not there. Oh, I know you're there, Mike, and you're watching this right now.
By the way, Mike, shout out if you're seeing us.
Sign you up.
Hopefully to see you this season at one of the games. I'm actually telling you while I'm here. So the Houston game alone, that's one. I am going to go to Detroit, but over it because I missed out last year. I got to go to a Birmingham game. That is my one check off besides summer stock and spring stock. I have to go to Birmingham for one game since I missed out with the folks I hang out with or have hung out in the past with out there. Mm-hmm. So
do me a favor.
Yeah.
Put in a good word for me.
I
think things have gone south down in Birmingham with me and my reputation. I don't know exactly what happened. I love Birmingham.
The real meetup I need to have is with Stevie T. This will solve all things. This will be the meetup of all time. Is if me and Stevie T hash it out. Do the global negotiation talks.
Well, you could do the handshake meme too, like
this will be a meeting of the ages. We have to do this. That's what's got to get done. I will be the negotiator.
If I go to a game of Birmingham and Stevie T and Bama Boy and these dudes don't show up, I'm gonna be so salty. I'm gonna be pissed. I will be angry. And if I don't go to Birmingham, they're just going to throw it at me. They're going to say, "Oh, rep hates Birmingham." Blah 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 blah.
Oh, I love this.
We were on the Birmingham local news. I'll have you know.
Oh my God, I love that so much. This is great. This is great.
And then Ducky calling me out, trying to get some extra points on the Stevie T ranking scale. Yeah, get what of it, Ducky? What of it? Leave me alone. I'm trying to move up those ranks, man. Come on.
I was happy to be up at the top of the last ranks.
Oh man,
I'm glad to have this honor, but I will also say that I'm probably going to lose it at some point. Knowing these shows, there's always going to be something.
See, Stevie T is the real point system. We didn't even know it all along. We've been giving ourselves points. We didn't even have the authority. And it's been Stevie T the whole time.
And we still have to actually decide the reward for last season. We have to do it before the season starts. We still have to get that done.
Reward? What do you mean reward? You got the most points. That's the reward. And dude, you can use your points. Nobody's used them yet.
I need to. I lost the link to the item shop. Can you send that to me in the direct messages?
You got to get creative here, Zach. Maybe I'll use my points on the next episode of ATU, which I don't think we can say who, but we can say that the next episode of ATU, which I don't think is going to be this Monday, but the Monday after, maybe, possibly, don't hold me to it, 7 years, should be a big one. Should be a big name.
Yeah.
Should be, how do you say this? Like, never mind. I would
put it honestly as one of the top stars in the spring space if we're going to talk about names. So that's how you should view the next ATU when we get it lined up. We're trying this week actually, and things just because of life for certain people. But no, big one of the top names in the sport. That's all I can say. Like in our section of the sport, just think about it. You can take some guesses.
Multiple sports, in fact. That's the only hint you'll get.
That's as far as you can go with that. Any farther, and we're gonna spill the beans.
Oh man. So Zach, I mean, what are you up to today? Doing anything fun?
Well, today, actually, after I get off here, I am making highlight videos for the players on the Arizona Bandits. So I got to get that done. By the way, if you're wanting to follow AF1, my team's the Bandits, at AZ Bandits AF1, I am running pretty much any of the accounts you can think of right now. So yeah, trying to hype up the season. Things are going pretty smoothly, I would say, and should have the home venue and tickets announced pretty soon.
Do you have the schedules out, right? When is the opening day when's the first opening game?
Yes. So opening day, and I am scrambling to get my revised schedule up here again, because I have been all over the place for getting it fully spent out, and we have to adjust it. Opening day for us would be the weekend of March 21 through the 23rd. We will have a specific date, like very effing soon. We're just making sure we got the weekends locked down. So that'll be against Salina, and that'll be, so we have a week 0 in the league this year. Mm-hmm. We technically will start on week 2, so that'll be 3 weeks into the league schedule.
I see.
And then our first official game is up in Bend, Oregon. We're going to be, Bend, Oregon, pretty much. We're going to be playing the Oregon Lightning out there. They're in the West Division. They're one of our rivals. Season's kind of coming up really quick, and training camp's coming up next month, like March 21st. So we're about to really hit the slog of stuff shortly. Doing that, and I got the shows with you. Can't let that commitment go.
See, this is what happens. You started hanging out with me, doing stuff with Newsroom. Now you've gotten the illness where you work on everything too much.
I told my brother over the holiday, I took a cruise in the Caribbean. He was asking me about stuff I'm doing. I was like, I've just learned I just can't be bored. Like I just, if I take something away and I'm not doing something, I just want to do something that I feel is entertaining for me or keeps me busy. I just cannot stay unbusy. Yeah. It's not the level of you or like James, I think, but I'm starting to push that level where I'm like, I just want to do something, It's
a waste of time to do nothing, right? That's why I always tell people, and you should go, if you want to do a podcast, you should do a podcast. James Baker is a great example. You brought him up. He's got the UFL highlights thing going on.
Yeah.
Again, not only did it create the infamous Memphis meme, but he's got some good clips. And Zach, did you order the damn shirt yet? The Panthers shirt?
Oh no, I don't think I did. No,
I ordered one for myself. I had to get it. We're going to talk about that. But James Baker, sign him up. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, over on eBay, there's the company that made the shirts for the UFL championship, or the conference finals. They, how you always wonder, like, oh, where did the t-shirts go for the team that lost the championship? Mm-hmm. Well, in the UFL's instance, eBay. They went on eBay. So you could right now be a proud owner of a USFL championship division winning Michigan Panthers shirt. Mm-hmm. I think they have the XFL division winning Battlehawk shirt.
I am keeping an eye on that. I just need to pull the trigger on that. That's all. But
I waited and waited. I did it yesterday. I just said, you know what? $20. And you know what?
I love it. Even in this sport, like, the joke is always they they donate all the non-winners in the NFL across the seas, and there's a stockpile of Panthers shirts just lying around somewhere. I love it. Thank God. I'm glad we're getting consistent stuff.
I just want to reach out to him and be like, can you just make me one for the Roughnecks? Just 12-0.
Actually, what I want really bad, and it's because I'm actually wearing the example. This is my original USFL tee I bought when the league was still selling USFL merch. Can I get logo tees for the conferences again? This thing's about to die on me, and I love this. Like, can I get this again? Like, I don't want to throw this shirt out. I'm going to have to soon, or it's going to become a pajama shirt, and I hate that it's going to be relegated to, well, I'm just bumming around the house. Like, no, I love this league. I love the history of this league. Why I need these. Like, hey, anyone listening at the league office, give me some more like conference or like old school like conference merch stuff. You have access to all this crap. Please do it.
You got all that intellectual property. The USFL was doing it with the Panthers in like that season 2, which I thought was really cool. Actually, I forgot about that. I got that Panthers shirt where it's like the old school shirt. I love when they do. Yeah, please bring it back. Sell some more merch.
I like these logo tees, man. This is my thing. I love it. I actually need to start getting some button ups, but this is the thing for me. This is what I do. I represent.
Did you see on X? I don't know. It got suggested to me. This is how I know algorithms are good. I don't use Temu, Zach. I don't use Alibaba. I don't use any of these things. But for some reason, it knew I was the ref. And it knew I might be interested in a button-up ref shirt.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, how have I never thought to look for one of those? That is 100%. I got to get it. I think it was like $1.98. I'm sure it's like $10 shipping. I'm sure that's how they get you. But I got to get it. It's probably going to be like made out of rice paper or something, but it
just dissolves.
My wife buys stuff on Shein, and I'm like, this is like garbage. Oh, but it's cheap. I said, yeah, I can tell. It looks like shit.
I know you bought your golf cart a while ago, and I remember that purchase blowing up on you for you. You can buy bikes, you can buy dirt bikes on Temu, you can buy like miniature vehicles on Temu. There's Temu engine parts. I thought this was a joke. People were like I've seen memes where people were like, me when my freaking third piston on my engine from Temu blows out of the gasket. I'm like, there's no way that's real. And you go online. Yes, these people sell engine parts.
They sell everything. They'll sell everything. One year, Zach, for spring stock, I was looking at, maybe I'll just get shirts ordered from China. And so I went on, was it Alibaba? I can't remember where I went. And I just put in like, not an RFP, whatever the hell you call it. I submitted one. Dude, within an hour, I got so many vendors that were like, I'll do 10 shirts for $1. I'm like, these cannot be good. These cannot be. I didn't even explore it. You start talking like 10 cents per item, I'm like, this cannot be. What are these shirts?
You've reached a Chinese direct affiliate buyer when they start saying, well, here's the prices in bulk. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I see what's going on. I don't want to do that. Please, can we not? I know what you're doing.
I do want Newsroom jerseys, though. I need to get a hold of, what does he call it now? The Royal Retros. Is that what he calls it now, or does he have? It's
still Royal. It's still Royal Retros.
Okay, because it was 503, and now it's Royal Retros. That's right. Mm-hmm. I need to get a hold of that guy again, because he can make us Newsroom jerseys. Mm-hmm. And even if it's just me and you and whoever wants one has one, fine. I don't care. I really want it for myself.
No, we should totally hook him up. I mean, he's honestly, like I said, he's actually gotten the stuff he's made like in just a few years' time. Because remember, we met him 3 years ago, or pushing 3 years ago, at the opening USFL game, and that in 3 years, his stuff has been increasingly getting like really freaking good. I mean, have you seen his PJ Walker jersey?
I don't know if I have.
I'm on his site right now. This thing is crispy, dude. Like, he's got both the red home variant and the gray away variant, and they look almost 1-to-1. And these are real life shots of his work. This isn't like generated stuff.
Yeah, he does good stuff. Because remember, he sent us those. What did I get a Brian Scott jersey? No, I got a Case Cookus jersey.
Yeah, you got a Cookus one.
For some reason, I was actually really hopeful that it was a Brian Scott one, but Yeah, no, he does some good stuff. So again, if you're looking for retro gear, Royal Retros is probably your best bet. I think we have a coupon code there, USFL podcast.
If we do still have it, I believe it's USFL podcast.
I'll have to look into that. I don't know. If not, just buy his stuff. It's good.
That
stuff,
one was like 10% off your order. So
yeah.
if you even want to throw that in, like, be sure to check that out. But yeah, dude, I mean, he's got all kinds of stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look. I wonder if he has my USFL t-shirt. But here's the thing. It needs to be the newer one. You know what a lot of people do? They put on the one with the old school text from the 80s. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I've seen a lot of people do this over the years. We're like, oh, this is talking about the USFL. It's like, yes, but wrong logo. Stop using the wrong logo for me, please.
Yeah.
Use the newer one. And I made a post about this when the league first came out. I was like, here's the old one. Here's the new one. Use this one. And I actually had league officials like retweet it because they saw my tweet and they're like, being like, yeah, people are using the old 80s version when that's not the one we're using. But credit, that was also around the time when they were trying to be careful.
Yeah.
Do the trademark dance.
Yeah. Those are fun times, man. Remember, it was like a week before they were supposed to kick off. The lawsuit came out. Maybe it was a little bit longer than a week, but oh my God. And it all ended up getting sorted, all for it to just be another league, you know?
It was good times. It was a good time. There's some stuff here. I haven't been on here a while, and there's actually great Panthers gear too, from like old school 80s-esque things.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Although I see
CFL stuff, they got all sorts of crap in here.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. But no, check them out. 10% off your order at USFL Podcast. We'll probably keep pushing that and see if we can talk to them about
Yeah. I just need to email them or DM them or something. I go dark on social media. I would share my DMs, Zach, but my DMs are so madness with AI. Hold on. I'm not going to share them, but let me just pull them up here real quick. Cause there's one.
You just got to be careful on what DMs you pull up. That's the thing. I respect people's privacy. You know,
this is an adult AI game with ... The secrets to 100x profits are here ... Join us here. Here's a paradise for men, Peach. Like what
Puke.
What do I post on Twitter that merits my inbox? Come on, beauties from all countries ... This was my favorite. Hold on, let me just pull this one up because it's using my title from Twitter. So it says, "Hi, ambassador of good times, founder of PF Newsroom, UFL Newsroom, blah, 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 blah. I figured to get in touch with you. I developed, all right, John. I wanted to reach out to explore if there's come on, beauties from all countries. Hi, these are like, and they just keep coming.
The copy paste is gold. I love how they just took it, just threw it in.
The people, I sent you a DM months ago. Oh, gee, I wonder how I didn't see it. Come on, beauties from all. How many of these do I have? Join us. Wow. Here's a paradise for all men. Register for free. You can have a video call. With who? Let's see. With the people you like and the experience unexpected surprises. Peach. Oh my God.
Wow.
So anyway, that's my inbox. So I think that's it, Zachy boy. I'm probably gonna end this stream.
That's cool.
Stick on. We'll talk for a little bit. Catch up.
Yeah, actually, what I will throw out there, because we do need to do this one way or another, since there's a lot to talk about lately. I'd say tune back in Friday for a new episode of the UFL podcast. I think that's overdue, so we'll discuss, but we're definitely going to get that out ASAP because we have to talk Magoo in full detail. We got to do that.
I'll even push the article. So Corey Nash put out his first article on Newsroom yesterday, talking about he's back, but will he be a backup? And so very controversial opinion. And I love a little controversy creates cash, Zachy boy. I can't even say it right. That's how you know it's true. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out pfnewsroom.com. I always say this at the end of the video. I should say it at the beginning, but like the video, click the bell. It builds morale. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go to the second channel. I'm going to put some stuff on there soon. I have actually, Zach, I got the song. Did I ever show you the song about I won't say the other part to spoil it, but the eating
Okay.
while song. Have I ever shown you the eating
You-
while song?
Yeah, send me that. I don't think I've seen it.
Okay.
Definitely
I'm
don't think I've
debating
seen
if
that.
I should put that on YouTube. It's not bad. It's funny, but it might be too funny.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, keep an eye out for that possibly on the second channel, because there's no way in hell it's going on this one. All right, folks, thanks for joining. How do I end the stream on this thing? Stop stream. And then here's the trick, Zach. We're actually still live. We're actually still live until I press this button over here.
I know. We were the last time.
Look at that. See, we're learning. We're learning. There we go.
Hilarious.
Man. So now that we're not live.
Okay.